Hey guys, you can be mad at me because it's taking me so long to finally get back. But I have a lot of good reasons, not excuses, reasons for why I'm just now getting back to you guys. Uh, if many of you don't know, Texas was under freeze. And if you know anything about Texas, we do not freeze. So, and also the government here is trash and the energy companies here are trash and the government and energy companies are in cahoots. So that's how we ended up with no power for most of the state didn't have power for like at least 3 to 4 days. And then um we didn't have running water. So it was just a lot that we were going through. And then trying to recalibrate my life over this last week has been Um, fun. But I'm caught up on a lot, so I'm finally able to come back to you guys and give you some more content. And like I promised, you will be getting 2 episodes. And who knows, you might be getting more episodes than I plan to give y'all this month. But yes, let me get into how did all of this end? We got we started with the letter, you know, and then I told y'all the story about the feelings that I had and how I even got to even wanting to write a letter like that. But let's walk through the last part of this story together to see why the hell did I give that letter and what was the outcome? Because the outcome was uh not that good. So honestly, this is why I say I'm very upset. I didn't keep a journal this time because this is where the memory starts to get the foggiest. And it is the second semester of school. I know around this time he told me he had a girlfriend. I just didn't, I don't know exactly when this was, but I do remember him. And I think I remember the girlfriend. I think she was actually a freshman too. So we were in the same freshman center together. Um, if I'm not mistaken, like I said, memory is poor. I saw her once and I saw him hug her or whatever, and I was like, "What you doing with her?" or whatever, thinking in my head. And then I found out that he had a girlfriend. Like shortly after that, he told me he had a girlfriend, and I put the two pieces together, and I was like, "Oh, that's his girlfriend." I was like, I mean, she ain't got nothing on me, but when you just be like, I mean, she cool or whatever, you trying to be friendly or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, that's nice," but in the back of your head, you're like, "Fuck that hoe, like, that girl ain't got nothing on me." But luckily at that time, I was such a sweet, I still am pretty sweet, but I was so sweet back then. I didn't even think that. I was just like, "I'm so happy for you," and I was just sad that it couldn't be me. It wasn't even no mal feelings towards her or anything like that. Just like, sad it couldn't be me or whatever. But he continued to stay affectionate and would text me and things like that, but started see, this is what always happens. Always happens. I be mad tight with a dude, be they baby and they boo and everything like that. They text me good night and good morning and things of that nature, calling me every day, boom, boom, boom. As soon as they get a girlfriend, I get replaced. And like my affection and shit like that ain't there no more. So as soon as he got his girlfriend, I wasn't getting any more good morning texts or good night texts. But if I stopped texting him, he would hit me with, "Why you not talking to me? Why you didn't text me?" No, no, no. Sir, you got a girlfriend, and you was the one to send these out. I didn't send these out at first. I'm gonna look crazy if I'm sending you good night and you ain't text me out there some craziness like that. Like, what am I supposed to, like the age? I didn't know what I'm doing. What am I supposed to see? If you know how I feel, why would you see that? You know what I mean? So I'm over here like trying to still be a good friend. And then it's hard because you like them or whatever. So the emotions and the feelings are like building up to like immense levels. I ain't never felt nothing like this before. I'm over here, you know, Cry wait, what album was out at this time? Oh, and this is why I love Rihanna's Rated R, because it came out around this time. No, actually, Rated R came out before this, but this year is the year that Rihanna became, like, my favorite. Well, Beyonce is always my favorite, but, Rihanna was, like, my favorite. Uh oh, that's so hard to explain. Can y'all just not drag me? Let's get into this later. But, she, she released fuck, what's the name of that album? Loud. No, not Loud. That Loud is old. Even though I was in love with that album too, but she released Talk That Talk. And the whole semester I think she had You the one that I think about all day. You the one that I think about all way. And my brain only heard when you like somebody, my brain only heard you Dewan, as in his name, Dewan. And I was just like, you don't want that I think about a day. One that I think about always. I don't want it, so it makes sure I behave. My love is your love. Your love is mine. Right? So that song will be on repeat for me. Another song was this was when I was having my sexual awakening. So give it to me like I want it. This is my all. Eyes on it. Rock me out back and forth. Rock me out on the floor. It's gonna be different tonight. The best time in your life. I just want you to know, baby. Take a peek at the girl I let you in on a dirty secret. I just wanna be in love. When I say that music, what was another song from that album? Suck my cockiness, look my persuasion. Hey, keep my words, I love you, break them down. That song too. What's another one? Say what you want to, say what you like to, say what you want me to do, and I got you. Tell me how to love you, tell me how to hold you. I'ma get it right on the first try for you. I'm telling you, this music right here was my absolute. I know there was another song on there too, man. Now I gotta pull it up because it's literally one of my favorite songs on the album, and it's still so precious to me to this day. But the music was fueling a lot of what I was feeling emotionally in that moment with him, and it was a it was a lot. So I'm over here, I'm building these more of emotions with him, and I'm girl, I can't find it. Oh, I found it. Um, girl, don't you hate when you gotta go to Wikipedia? You the one. Where have you been? We found love. Type that talk. Cockiness. Birthday cake. We all want love. Drunken on love. Rock me out. Oh, watch and learn. I knew I was missing one thing. Oh, and do your thing. Okay. Um, won't say a thing about the way you do me, but I like the way, I love the way you touch me. If I to the leave it to it up, then I drop it till you making faces and like you wanna tell me stop it. I'ma do it till you can't take no more. Till my lipstick ain't up on your face no more. I'ma do it on the bed, on the floor, on the couch. To my mouth. Just because you can't kiss back doesn't mean you can't kiss that. Oh baby, just like that. So yeah, that was my stuff. And then see, I know you like being around chicks and looking at hips in a little outfit. What can I say? That's what I love about you, babe. I didn't fall in love, but that's too dramatic right now. But no, all of that was just like I don't know, fueling like this really almost like It's gonna be hard to describe. It felt like almost like an animalistic, like, desire and, like it was weird. It was complex as well. It was highly emotional. It also was, like, a unfamiliar to me at the time, especially, I mean, like 14, 15, no, like 13, 14, or whatever in freshman year of high school. I'm just now experiencing like these feelings and these emotions to this depth. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to alleviate any of this pressure. I don't know how to alleviate any of this pressure because he wasn't for me. Well, how it always been. It's not even just like the sexuality of the moment, but it's more so about like the emotionality. And I feel like those two things are definitely linked for me. I do believe myself to be demisexual, so it's like the more emotionally I connected I am to somebody, the more uh sexually attracted to them I am. So it's like all those I was highly emotionally connected to him, and we had talked a lot, and I really had liked him like a lot, a lot, a lot. So then I brought everything else up to like levels I ain't never had before. So I was just getting dizzy. And I would get angry some days, and like I don't think I bickered with him. I was too scared to like show him that I was really upset. But sometimes I wouldn't like hug him, and he would come talk to me, be like, "Hey, what's wrong? Like, why you didn't hug him?" Just like, oh, oh, I just thought about it, and it's just like, you be trying to put on your mean face or whatever. You be like, whatever. You're like, bro, give me a hug. Like, you tripping? Like, stop tripping. I'm like, okay. Why am I like this? Why was that like that? Why he did me like that? So, um, I was just deeply in my ooh, I was just deeply in my emotional space with all of that, and I think I think I don't know which day came first. I think this day came first. If my memory's not bad, it was a really sad day for me because I was just like, this nigga got a girlfriend. My main reason for getting excited to come to after school for theater and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved all my friends that were there too. Honestly, I mean, maybe I was just blinded, but honestly, I don't think I've had such an easy and pairing of friends since then. And I know my friends currently gonna be like, but I don't know, like we early on we cuddled and we hung out with each other and like we laughed and we joked and it wasn't a lot of like friction, or anything like that. Maybe, I hadn't developed as myself or whatever, and I wasn't standing up for myself as much at the time, probably. So maybe they were doing some things that were upsetting me, but I really can't remember it. Um, I just remember being really close to everybody and us sharing and us like really actively growing with each other. And I've always wanted a friend group like that again. Luckily, though, my new friend, let me say this for them, just because they hear this and they be like, bitch, so what did the fuck you mean? We not supportive or something? No, it's not that. It's y'all are just a different feeling than them. And I wouldn't trade y'all for the world. I love y'all dearly. And I tell y'all that literally all the time. So chill out if you acting up. And if you're not acting up, then great. But no, I just, you know, me and my friends in theater, we all were feeling bad that day because, like I said, he was my main person that I really liked, and it just wasn't working out. It didn't look like it was gonna work out or pan anywhere, and it really hurt because I never liked somebody that much. But I was used to like liking people and them not liking me back because that was just like the story of my life. But But he so we get to class one day, like all the girls are sad. I'm sad in the back. Ashlyn sat in the back. Elizabeth is sad in the back. Maybe a couple other girls were sad in the back. We all was just sad. I don't know why, but it was just like the universe had us all lined up in a very like sad, serious moment. So we said, obviously, my man's he knew like I don't think I gave him the same energy when I came in or whatever. He tried to talk about it and I was like, I ain't in the mood. I don't wanna do all that. So I went to go sit in the back and then he came up to me. He was like, "Hey, what's wrong? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, I wanted to say like in my head, my head was screaming, "Nigga, you!" But I couldn't say that. So I was just like, nothing. I don't want to talk about it or whatever. And me and the girls we were discussing why we were sad earlier, but I wasn't willing to share that with him at the time. He didn't know how I felt about him at the time or whatever. Or girl, you know how they like to say they don't know. But and I side mother freaking know. I know exactly who I am. And I know how I've always been. I am mad flirty. Like I make it extremely obvious. I don't have to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I make it obvious. The problem is that and look, this is not me patting myself on the back or anything like that. But I just have such a good personality and like I'm so like the energy is just so good that when I'm giving you all this good energy, of course you're not gonna say nothing because you like feeling good. I'm complimenting you. I'm talking about how your hair looks, things like that. Blase this, blase that. You know what I'm saying? Making you feel all gushy and stuff. You probably ugly, and for some reason I like you, so nobody else is giving you these compliments but me. So you're like, fuck it, I ain't gonna say nothing and fuck up my compliment train. No, So, but don't be acting like, well, when I come out and I tell you, don't be acting like I didn't know. I didn't know, nigga. Why would somebody like me, as good as me, that looks like me, that has as much going on in their life as me, be talking to you? I don't waste time. So I'm not just talking to you just to waste time. No, I'm talking to you because I like you. All right. So, he was like, why you sad? What's going on? I was like, I really don't want to talk about it. And he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you something to cheer you up or something like that. I was like, fine, try. Let me just tell you that what he told me did not cheer me up at all. So we were talking. So he's like, so I, as a matter of fact, what he told me triggered me even more. So he was like, so yeah, me and my girl, it's the shits, man. You just go through so much in high school. Me and my girl, we was, my girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, well, she was telling me how she's still sore from having sex because my dick is so big or something. I'm like, huh? Immediately my brain shut down and I was like, sir, you felt like this was the right thing to tell me in a moment of sadness? Also, if you were 2 cents smart, which honestly, if you look back on it, he probably wasn't that smart because well, let me not say that. If you could look, if you listen to the first episode, you can connect the dots on why it might be true that he's not that smart. But I was just like, why would you? I mean, I didn't tell him this, but I just was like, okay. He was like, yeah, like my shit's so big, like da, da, da." I'm like, why do I need to know this? Now, don't get me wrong. When I wasn't as mad anymore, I was like, But, when I was in the moment of anger, why would you tell me this if you know my saying, "If you know how I feel, why would you say that?" And you knew how I felt. Like, even though I didn't tell you, you knew what was going on. Why would you think that would cheer me up? You didn't ask me out on a date or nothing like that. You didn't Nothing that you did alleviated any pressure in that moment of what I was feeling with you. And after he had told me that, I was like, "Okay, I'm not can't play no games with him anymore," I think. So it was around that date, or it could have been the same day. I cannot remember. I think I just tried to rip it from my brain. But I wrote the letter, and the letter basically stated that, like, I already read it to y'all once, but it was basically a confession of, like, I like you and, like, I still wanna be friends, but honestly, I needed basically, if I was good at communicating at that time, I woulda told him, because I wasn't allowing myself to be vulnerable with the message either, and also not throwing myself away, or like, making myself feel bad, but I should have said, "Hey, I like you, and I still really care about our friendship, and you're dealing with somebody that I feel close to. I don't wanna lose that because of that. So if you could help assist me in ways to which I can balance that and sort those feelings out, that would be great, if you care about me enough to do that." Because I feel like I mean, I'm not crazy. I didn't build all these emotions by myself. There were things that you did that made it so that I could build these emotions to this level, right? So I was like, and if you care about our friendship, then it's only right that you would want to assist in my recovery from liking you. And then we can move from me liking you to me just wanting to be your friend. So, but that's what I would probably do nowadays. I just didn't have the words or the strength to articulate that back then. But he was, so I wrote the letter and I put it in his I cannot remember precisely, but I feel like I put it in his backpack because we were close, so me going putting something in his backpack, it didn't seem weird to me or nothing like that, like, we, texting and talking and things like that, like, I might as well have been your side girlfriend or whatever, which 9 times out of 10, that's the role that they be giving me, but anyways, um they be giving me the side girlfriend role without any of the girlfriends, like the intimate stuff, but like, well, all the intimate stuff that's not physical. That's basically what it is. I do all the intimate stuff that's not physical. We gotta go talk to a therapist. But ooh, uh, I don't know how I got that letter back. I think he might have gave it back to me. I was like, did he read it? I don't know. I think I like lied to myself to say. I think I told myself that he didn't read it when he gave it back to me, but I also see, but it gets confusing because the story doesn't end. Unfortunately, the story does not end just here. But let me take a quick break and then I'll get right back to you with the finished part. Okay, yeah, we're back. And um it turns out that he didn't this is this is such a craziness situation. So, I told him um well, I told him in the letter or whatever, he gave it back. I don't think I ever told him at all that year, but, I still held a candle or flame for our love or whatever, and, I did distance myself a bit because I didn't know how to process my feelings, and I didn't feel like he would wanna help me process them, even though knowing him, he could have wanted to, I think it could have been something sweet. He wasn't like a evil, mean guy or anything like that. I think he would have been sweet about it. But I mean, how he handled it in the future, I don't. I mean, we'll get to that. But yeah, so I went on from long story short, my it was wrapping up towards the end of the year, and my mom and dad were going through things, so my mom and my dad ended up separating, and I ended up uh my mom was asking me, she asked me if I wanted to separate or if I wanted my mom and dad to separate or if I wanted to stay there. And if she separated, she said we would move. And I think at that point, with along with so many other things and me thinking that moving to a different part of town would be better for me and my career experience, which in some ways, in a lot of ways, in most ways it was better, but also in other ways it was like, damn. But I told her, I said, girl, move, because I didn't want to be around him anymore. And even though I was only going to have to see him for one more year, I feel like if I was still going to that school, I still would have liked him a whole bunch. And I would have continued to try to pursue that. And that was not going to happen. Or if it was going to happen, it wasn't going to happen in any way that was going to be um, rewarding for me in the end. So yeah, I told my mom to move to get away from the nigga I didn't like, and I mean that I was low-key in love with. But it's funny because I end up liking somebody again to a similar degree. I think even more in my senior year, which is even wilder. I'm like, when I look back at these young men, I'm like, you were not that cute. What did I like about you? Like, what was it? You're not that cute. Your hair is definitely uneven, you know? And all the young men looked fairly dusty. Like they were given dusty. So but I like somebody like that again. I was like, well, let me practice saying that I like you or whatever. So then that way it'd be easier. So I'm just a radical. I don't really exist on earth. Like, I'm here, but I don't know if I really, like, understood, um, human communication and, like, the rules of communication, especially for somebody who is, a black queer body in a society that hates black queer bodies. Cause a lot of shit that I've done could have got me lined the fuck up, and luckily I've only been physically bullied once. I mean, people have done little things like inappropriate touching and stuff like that. But when it comes to like beating me up or anything like that, I only got my ass beat like once, I think. And that was like a long time ago. And it wasn't even for being queer. It was because I didn't want this boy to use my markers. But that's a long, 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 long. That's a long time ago, and a funny story I might tell. But so I reached back out to him and I'm like, "Hey, how you been? How's life been?" I really did not give a fuck. And not to say I don't care about him, I mean, I still do, but it was more so like you know, I got a mission that I'm trying to accomplish here. And unfortunately, figuring out, telling you that I liked you and things like that is a part of that mission. So while this is awkward for me, bitch, I'm trying to see if I can do this and if I'm uh, going to be able to be with this other boy that I like. And he was like, "Hey, whatever, we talked or whatever." And I told him, I said, I had the biggest crush on you in freshman year or in high school or whatever, freshman year. And he was like, "Oh, really? Let me actually pull the fucking I forgot that I bitches got the receipts. Bitches got the receipts. Bitches got the receipts. Y'all, I tried to find it. I could not find it. I think I have a screenshot it somewhere, but I think it's in like some of my accounts from long, 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 long time ago where I was trying to get rid of shit. Dang, I'm so mad. That would have been a moment. I could reach out more embarrassing things. But he if I'm not mistaken, he said something along the lines of like, no, I didn't know. Da, 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 whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, no, it was a huge thing for me or whatever. Um, and then um So look, I had to ask him because I was like, because at that point I was like, well, bitch, I'm big, bad, and bold and brave, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna see this man again. And even if I see him again, would it even matter? Like, who the fuck are you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Um, so I text him. I mean, I text him back on Facebook. We did all this through Facebook, and I was like, so do you want? I said, so did you ever feel the same? I'm not even laughing because that's so inconceivable or anything like that. I'm laughing because, girl, why didn't I did not expect for the response to be the response. So you know what the response was? Girl, that nigga blocked me. He unfriended me. Girl, I opened up the Facebook the next day and I said, "Ooh, oh my." Wasn't expecting that. And I said, well, that don't give me, but see, the thing about the blocking and unfriended was like, that didn't give me a yes or a no. If I didn't shake anything for you in your life, then it's like, why did you feel such a need to block and unfriend me? Like, you obviously felt there was some level of energy there for you to feel like that was necessary for you to do. Um, but that just took me out. I mean, my feelings were hurt too because I was like, "Dang, nigga, I'm just asking." Like, you could have easily said, "No, I didn't. I was never," because I was like, because I would have been like, you know, to a certain degree, I do feel like your actions encourage this to a certain degree. But you know what? I think I was trying to capture some closure for somebody from somebody who wasn't in the space in their life to give it, and I can understand. And now looking back, oh, no, I'm not gonna say that. But what I will say is, that was basically how all of that ended. Very recently, though, I've been on. I be on the twin Tinders, right? Well, I was on the Tinders. I deleted all that, and I don't see myself going back. If I'm supposed to meet a man at this point, God's going to have to drop him off. But I I was on Tinder at one point, and somehow I came across his profile or whatever. Um, and I swiped like right. How you say swipe? Like I swiped to match or whatever, and it wasn't a match. Well, it's not. Well, you never know. It could have been a match or whatever. But I deleted my account, and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, this is over. This is dead." But I don't know. I still feel like all those moments are so precious. Um, and everything about that experience with him was very special to me. And I think it kind of I don't think because I didn't get my closure and stuff like that, it put me in a pattern for years. And like, uh, even with people that I found out that did like me, I became emotionally insecure. So emotionally insecure that I just didn't think I was like thinking right, or I blame myself and did it. I don't know, just causing problems in places that it didn't even need to be. And I didn't want to trust myself, which is why before I even allowed myself to like somebody like that again, it was like another what 3 years. I waited to my senior year of high school. And while that wasn't the best person to do that with either, we'll get into that another time. And all the silliness that came with that. Now, luckily, that was a little bit fresher in my mind. That was why did I like him so much? Like both of them. Like I was really ready to just give it all. Why? Ill. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. One of them is uh like the one's he's okay looking now. He's not that cute. But it'd be interesting to have a conversation about it again and be like, "Oh, that's funny." But the other dude is actually still kind of attractive. He is a fucking weirdo, and he's uh doing a lot of like unique stuff, but he's still very attractive. Uh oh my gosh. But anyways, look, y'all, this is like very honest podcasting. So you're getting the juice of the flavor of the moment as I'm getting the juice of the flavor of the moment as it trickles into my brain. Real time shits. But I don't know. I think I want to end this episode here, and just cuz it's a bonus episode, and then I think I want to do a more detailed look through of, you know, that experience, and also what I've gained from it and how I think it applies to my life now, and I think how it can apply to everybody's life. But I love you guys. I hope you tune into the next episode. And I'm really sorry that these two episodes have came out so late. But I do promise to be more on schedule now, and God willing that there's not another blizzard storm or heat wave or a hurricane or some wild shit. I can't control nature. But I will be pre-recording episodes soon too. So pretty soon I'll be on a schedule to where this shit I'll be like, I already recorded. So it could be a hurricane, earthquake, tornado, and everything. That whole coming out is already in the server. It's already programmed. But I'll see y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening. Bye.